All right. So I'm not going to be teaching most of today, Aaron is, but I'm going to start everybody off. Yeah, first of all, thank everybody for coming to the workshop. It's obviously our first go at this, and we plan on doing more in different topics. Yeah, I appreciate it, and I appreciate all you for showing up and learning with us. So today, of course, what we're going to go through is the engagement side of things. So all of what we built up to today is basically laying the foundation, getting the page right so the page is actually effective for you, and it's not just like a leaking bucket, leaking leads that could be there, leaking business that could be there. So hopefully, in the last 3 weeks, that's what we tied up and made sure that we've structured our pages, or at least to where we know the format, process, and reason why we structure our pages in a way to where we can actually generate leads, because that's the biggest thing that I'd love everybody to take away. Whether we actually get our pages set up correctly or not, it's the fact that whatever marketing we try to do, we're always thinking about, okay, how can we measure the effectiveness of whatever marketing we're doing, number one, and how can we always capture people's information everywhere we can. And that's at the farmers markets, that's on Facebook, that's on our websites, that's in our stores. That's when customers come to us, they give us money. Half the companies in town don't take their information, which is a shame. And that's the biggest mindset shift, is whether we use everything we learned on Facebook or not, let's start using it offline. And let's start capturing that information everywhere. Every time anybody comes in your door, try to get their contact information somehow. Every single customer, we should have their contact information 100%. But yeah, so we're going to go into engagement today, and it's going to be mostly really interactive, and it's going to make it easier since not everybody's here. So we're going to pinpoint everybody's businesses, brainstorm for maybe 5 minutes each, and come up with some specific things that we can start doing in the next week, or even in the next 24 hours to engage. And yeah, that way we'll have everybody's minds going, okay, now here's some stuff you can do, and when somebody comes into your place, you can do this. And then by the time we're done today, in addition to this little worksheet, if y'all didn't get one, not a worksheet, but it's like a reference thing, it just runs down a bunch of ideas that you can take away. And if you're ever wondering what you're going to post on your page, or if you have an assistant or somebody in your company that can help you do this for you, give them this, set a timeline, set like an editorial calendar to where, like I was saying, maybe every Monday you post an inspirational quote, every Tuesday is something with the customer, whatever your process is. So, yeah, we're going to hop on the whiteboard and do that. But and I've got a few things at the end as well to go through after Aaron. That's his thing. Go over the Facebook ad coupons, so anybody who wants to start using those will get it to you. But it's really time sensitive based on when you set up your ad account. So we need to make sure if anybody's going to start that, we get the coupon right away, so you can actually use it and get that $50. And just put it out there beforehand. Yeah, I really love y'all's feedback of the workshop. I have a little online quick survey that we'll do at the end, and anybody who has nice things to say, would love to get like a quick little video testimonial of you before you leave. And that's something that we're going to use, of course, for our future workshops. But it's also something that I hope you all kind of see that we practice what we preach most of the time. And yeah, and testimonials are a big, big thing. We would be slapping myself in the hand if we didn't get testimonials from people who were happy with what they experienced here. So anyway, Aaron, I'll let you jump in now. And, yeah, let's fly through and go through engagement.
Yeah, we like people who leave positive testimonials. Sometimes we even like their pages. So my name's Aaron Larson, and I just moved in here actually to the Loft, which is pretty sweet.
On Monday.
Yeah, Monday. So my business is Swift Rock LLC, and I do this sort of stuff. Yeah. Thanks. So we're gonna hop in here. This is gonna be really engaging sort of workshop, just like it has been, but even more so today, like Trevor said beforehand. We're going to go through each one of you, and we're going to brainstorm and get some ideas, so you have something after tonight. You can just go down your list and put posts in, so make it very engaging. So I'm going to use this Mac. I'm a PC guy, don't hold it against me. So if I seem a little slow, that is why.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how.
There you go.
Great. All right, Facebook engagement with special guests. When, what, and how. It's amazing, no matter in business, how many times, whether it's marketing with Facebook or Google or print advertising, it seems to always come down to the W's and the how. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So we're going to first learn what to post, we're going to learn when to post, and we're going to learn how to post. And this is all with the general idea in mind that we want this all to lead towards sales. And that's why we use marketing, so we can get to a point to where we're generating more income, because that's what business is about in a lot of ways. So, I mean, without income, you have no business. So that's why we have marketing. What to post? We're going to start off with questions. This is probably the most effective way to engage your audience, is to ask them questions. People like it when you care about them. They want to, people tend to like people who seem interested and are genuinely interested in who they are, what they believe, and their interests. So we're going to go through each one of these, and we'll go through them kind of quickly. And then what I'd like to do is take 5 or 10 minutes, and then everyone can write a few for each of these, and then we'll go together. So that will be your work for today. So the first one, I have a site called grandparentsacademy.com. So one of my niches is grandparents, and that kind of goes to a personal story. Living with grandparents, I have a lot of experience with my grandparents, and I have a story that I won't go into so much today. You can check it out later. But basically, that is my niche. So what I did was tailor these questions to that. The first type of question is the specific question. So maybe something you might want to post Grandparents Academy would be, what is your favorite part about being a grandparent? So I want to know, what do they love most about that? What do they like about being a grandparent? So that they can start talking to each other. And every time someone puts something about, makes a post about that, I'm going to like their post, most likely, 99% of the time, even if I disagree. And then I'm going to engage with them and say, oh, well, you really love baking cookies. Well, my grandma Grit, she's kind of, she's rough around the edges, but she makes the best, sweetest cookies ever made. And you ought to really check out this recipe that I included on my website. Here's the link. And you can kind of get that recipe for yourself, and maybe, we can exchange recipes. So you're driving them, after you engage a little bit, you end up driving them to some sort of page on your site, or maybe it's back to your funnel that you created with Leisure, whatever it be. But there's always an intended action to drive them somewhere. Okay, yes or no questions are good. Do you agree that grandparents should have the legal right to visit their grandchildren? Yes or no? So perhaps in the future I might want to look at a grandparents' legal rights course, and I'm trying to do some research about what grandparents really think about that. That's a good way to sort of gather that research in order to inform what sort of course I would want, or which topics I'd like to include. So it functions for research as well. Timely questions, so something that is relevant to time. Today is a fellow grandparent's Bill Cosby's birthday. Okay, so Bill Cosby fans will really like that, They say, oh, he's a grandparent, that's great. And then you get the conversation going. Edgy comments, something that's a little more risque, and these tend to get the conversations really started and people interacting. So do you think that grandparents should have the right to take custody of their grandchildren without involving the police? So that could get a little risque. You could get different opinions on that, which is good. You want people to talk. You want that communication and engagement to go. That way you can direct that eventually to something on your page. Let's see, photos. So maybe you post a photo and it says, what do you think of this photo? I want to know your opinion. What do you think of this photo of my grandparents? Isn't it funny? This is when she was 26. Doesn't she look hot, you know? Grandma was a baby back then, or something like that. You know, you really bring it down to that sort of humanized level there. True or false questions. True or false? Grandmothers are born with a special cookie-making gene. I tend to think true. Again, Granny Grit, she's very rough around the edges, but she can make some good cookies. And I think that's probably just a natural thing. I don't know. Direct sort of questions. Why do you think grandparents love or hate technology? Now, if you're asking this on Facebook, you're probably going to get more mediocre, kind of like technology, love technology, but you probably won't get the hate technology, right? Because if they hate technology, they're probably not on Facebook in the first place. But the whole purpose is to spark that conversation. Preferences. Do you like grandchildren better when they are babies or full-grown adults? So you want to know which do they prefer. Fun questions. If you were stuck on an island with just your grandchildren, who would be the first to build a kayak out of duct tape? You know, something that's kind of out there, maybe odd a little bit, but gets them thinking, gets them want to engage with you. Who is attending our events? Who is attending our grandparentsacademy.com Facebook workshop this Thursday? So you want to see, you know, you get that notice out there that it's happening, and then if people start to respond, you also have the added benefit of social proof, because people then see that other people are responding to that. So, and hopefully you do have people that are attending, which is very nice. If not, call your grandma up and have her like the page. Let's see. Experience. People love to talk about themselves, and they love to talk about their experiences, because that gives them value and meaning in their life. I mean, everyone has their own individual story, and that is what makes us each unique. So explore that, you know, appreciate that in people, and they'll appreciate your story as well. So experience, what is one favorite moment you've shared with your grandchildren? You know, is it that time when little Bobby made that macaroni draft for you in, you know, 5th grade, or was it the time that his brother Andrew ate the hard macaroni off the picture? You know, what was it? You know, get them talking. Humanistic. Okay, getting back to the fact that we're all human beings here. Have you ever seen your grandchildren pick their boogers? You know, that's kind of like, whoa, okay. But yeah, everyone picks their boogers, you know, who doesn't do that? Okay, tips. You're soliciting advice. How do you feel when someone comes to you and asks for your advice? You feel like you're valued, that you're appreciated, and that you mean something. So if you ask them certain things, like what is your favorite lullaby to sing to your grandchildren, you know, that gives them a position of authority, and they appreciate that more. Mad Lib. So this is the fill in the blank. If my grandchildren remembered me as a kind person, fill in the blank, something like that, I would be eternally fulfilled. So that's a good, in my niche for grandparentsacademy.com, my whole goal is to build a legacy of loving and learning. And that's the whole point of the website, is to provide resources that lend to that. So it's about legacy. It's about being remembered and living a life you're proud of. So a question like that gives me great information as far as what they're really looking to achieve. And if they say, you know, I really wish they remembered me as a person who had a lot of stories. Well, I might say to them, oh, that's great. You know, one of the things that my grandma Grace likes to do is she likes to keep a journal. And in fact, we have this free journal template that we have at grandparentsacademy.com. Here's the link right here. Go check it out. And on the page, it might, you know, that will have an opt-in to something else. So you're obtaining information that way. Okay, so those are some questions. I know we went through them pretty quickly. So what I'd like to do here is let's divide these questions. What do you think, Trevor? Or should we do all of them?
For
each person? or just divide them in groups?
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be more effective in time.
Yeah, groups.
Also, in groups, or as we go through and dive into everybody's thing, in everybody's business, we can just choose 3 or 4 and actually do ones for them. So I think it's a lot of value for everybody to see everybody else's too.
So let's dive in now and just choose, each person choose 3 of them, and then we'll go over them together.
And these are things, just kind of make the link in our minds to our own businesses, because it's great, seeing the examples that Aaron has. And then I guess also the reason why we're even doing these. You probably ask, well, why do I need to ask questions like this? And first of all, you don't need to. You can have a page that doesn't have any interaction if you want to. But the whole goal of having a Facebook page is to build community and to be an interesting place for people to go. And if you're at a cocktail party or a Christmas party or whatever, the person who is the most interesting and the most engaging is the one who gets the most amount of people around them. People just want to be around people who are interesting, are engaging, are sharing stuff, are including them or asking of their opinion. The person who doesn't do that in a party is the one that tends to kind of not have people going to them. And that we want to create the atmosphere on our Facebook pages to where people feel that it's somewhere fun to be, that they're engaged. And then in the end, once we can do that with them, we get our name in front of them every time they get engaged. And then whenever they think of, hey, I need pictures, they go, well, shoot, I always see Gary's information. I always answer his questions. He's got great stuff. I'm going to give Gary a call. So that's the whole goal here, is to create that engagement so we're always top of mind whenever people need what we have. And also to be able to push them to our products, services, stuff like that when we have promotions or whenever we're doing stuff. So.
Right. And along with that, Trevor, people read what other people are commenting on. So if there's a great conversation between Gary and a client about how Gary went the extra mile at a wedding and just captured this beautiful moment, and Gary and the client are talking about this moment, and they see that, they're going to remember that moment. They're going to remember that conversation, and they're going to look towards Gary when it comes to that, because they want to have that moment too.
Yeah, exactly. Then you get the whole viral effect we've been talking about. So if you have one of these questions, which I've asked questions like that where I've had like 20 or 30 people actually make a comment, and that's a lot for me because I don't have like big, huge followings on Facebook. But then every single person that makes a comment or likes it, like we've been talking, it goes on their friend's profile and says, hey, this person just commented on this. So then you get the whole viral effect of people coming back around to your brand that never would have had access to. So, let's take 2 minutes and just write down right now some stuff that we can use in the next 48 hours to post on our pages. So, pick 2 or 3 of those, and maybe it's a picture that you can think of. Well, shoot, I could take a picture of me mixing a batch of toffee and post it and say, hey, another batch of toffee being born, something like that. Or it could be an experience. The experience ones are great. Like I posted one today, just right before the workshop. I took a picture of the guitar in my office and said, this is one of my projects for this summer, is learn how to play this. And I got like 8 comments on it already. And just little things like that have nothing to do with business or marketing, but it's stuff that is just interesting. So, let's take a few minutes and write some down to where we have actionable stuff to use in the next 48 hours.
So this pertains to
your own individual.
To your own page, yeah. I mean,
not to mine, not to your individual.
So yeah, I have a question then.
Yeah, shoot.
So I have a leaf photography page. I have 125 people, and then I have my personal, 400 or 500. But people that come to the leaf photography page are people wherever out there, and they go to it. But if I get something interesting, I share it to my 400 or 500 friends. Mm-hmm. But I don't post my business stuff very often to my friends. I do more personal stuff, like my son graduated the other night, and I put a post on there with pictures. And so, but on that post, I put a leaf photography logo on it, and I actually tag it as leaf photo. So if anybody clicks on it, it goes to my site. So is that the proper way to do it, or should I be doing everything through the photography, or?
No, I mean, yeah, I think you pick and choose. You know, you pick and choose what you think makes sense. Of course, on the photography one, you're probably not going to post something that's really personal that you just want for your friends. But a lot of it can be used on both, and that's one thing that it definitely takes a mindset shift to be thinking, how do I humanize my business? Because a lot of us try to not humanize our businesses. We think our customers don't care if my daughter's graduating. They do, because they're people, they have daughters, they have sons. And if you can humanize your business in that way, I would post it on both if you wanted to.
So like I have a great example would be, what's the funniest photo experience you've ever had? Because in 40 years, I've seen tons of funny things that have happened. And I think people would be engaged in doing that. But I would tend to do that more on my personal page. But how does that tie into the leaf photography?
I would do it there too. Because
do both.
Yeah, totally. If you're out on a photography session, you might you wouldn't even have to take a picture of the person you're taking a picture of. Maybe you're at Stewart Park and you take a nice picture of the river and it's got the trees. Snap that and say, on a session with a graduate at Stewart Park, beautiful day today. Post that on your
right.
On
We
your
do
page.
that stuff. Yeah, that's not a problem. But as a funniest thing, we've had cakes at weddings fall, and all kinds of funny.
Yeah.
The other day, one of the little kids at a wedding, he's probably 5 years old, went up to the wedding cake and grabbed his hand and put his hand in the wedding cake before anybody got to see it. It was hilarious. So I got a picture of him. He's got cake all over his face,
That kind of stuff's perfect to post on there because not only is it real life and it's big time humanizing your brand and you, but you took the picture. So that's your business. You're a photographer, and the more you can get that stuff out there, the better.
Well, so you would say something like, one of the things I love most about being a photographer is you get to see those real moments in life where it's not posed, it's not specifically coached to be something. And one example would be this little kid. Isn't it funny how little kids always seem to get into the cake before the bride and groom or something like that?
Yeah.
But make it more concise.
We'll dive into everybody's business particular and spend like 2 or 3 minutes in everybody's. Between Aaron and I and everybody else, we can probably rattle off a ton of really good stuff that'd be really engaging for everybody. So, so those are some really good things, and if you got some good ideas written down, awesome. We'll circle back there.
Okay.
Are we getting these slides later?
Yeah.
This list of stuff? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the second way to interact and to post would be to post photos. And this is, of course, right up Gary's alley, because that's what he does. Post interesting photos in a way that encourages interaction. So again, you want to ask questions when you're posting photos. You want to have some sort of call to action. So you might have, a photo of, the toffee. You have a photo of your toffee, Donna, and you say, okay, this is the batch that I cooked up this morning. Has anyone seen what toffee looks like in the first 15 minutes it's produced or something like that? Does anyone know what fresh toffee looks like? Or give it something unique. People are like, well, fresh toffee, or it just started. Like, that's kind of different. I didn't know there was different life cycles of toffee. So give it something unique to your toffee. Something to think about that gets curiosity spinning a little bit. Use images as gifts. I did something recently. Let's see if I can figure out how to work this. Mac.
Go to Google Chrome.
Bear with me.
Right there.
Google Chrome. Yeah. And this is with Grandparents Academy. But the idea of reciprocity is that you're always giving things, and they don't have to be like money or anything like that, but just an idea or information or a laugh even. That's usually the best. Remember that. Let's see. Okay. Yes, that'll work. Okay, so one of the things I've tested out just this last week with Grandparents Academy was to, first I created a photo, and it was an award, an Outstanding Grandparent Award. And the idea was to recognize as many outstanding grandparents in the world that I could recognize. And so the idea is to create something that's of value to the recipients. So for grandparents, they like to be known as an outstanding grandparent. So what I did was create this photo, and it has some instructions on there. So you've been recognized as an outstanding grandparent. It looks kind of like a certificate. And then I asked them to share and to tag themselves with every outstanding grandparent they knew, so that no deserving grandparent goes unrecognized. So we have this different call to actions here, and you see it's been shared. It's 11 times, so it's kind of still working, but out of this, what happened was people would go to the page, which was on this one here. And then
If you're watching this right
they
now,
watch the
it
video.
means that someone thinks that you.
Okay, and that goes on. But basically, I got 5 different opt-ins in the last 3 days just from sharing that photo, and I've never met any of the people. So it's 5 different leads. So you're able to think of some way in your individual business to create some sort of image that people will share, that makes them smile or makes them happy, and then give them something of value. Just, it could be a picture. What they would opt in for would be something else, would be a printable certificate. So that's just a PDF of a certificate that I made of the same basic image. So it doesn't cost me anything other than the time to design it, to put it together and put it on the website. But they feel like they're getting something of value, which they are, which is recognition for being an outstanding grandparent. So in your own businesses, think of different ways that you can provide extra value without having to maybe discount your products or give away cash prizes or anything like that. Try to think outside the box a little bit. So that's just an idea of how photos can be something that you can use as gifts, as something that leads to reciprocity. I didn't show you that yet, Trevor, did I?
No, that's cool. And also, I'm kind of going back to that viral effect thing. That's one of the reasons we go on Facebook, is so we can reach our friends' friends. And stuff like that's really, really cool, because those 11 people shared it with who knows how many other people.
When I went onto your sites, you've got, on your grandparent site, you got really huge buttons. Are those tabs, or how are those so big?
This is on the Facebook page?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see.
I'm not a friend, so I might be seeing something different. But yeah, I keep going. Yeah, they're keep going down. Yeah, my page is a little different because I've become your friend.
Oh, okay.
But they're huge buttons.
I'm going to look at that because I don't know what you're seeing. But I might be able to explain that.
See how these buttons are really huge
Oh, yeah.
right here?
Okay,
They're
that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's my main site. I'll pull that up real quick.
Okay.
Probably so big because he's targeting grandparents.
That's exactly what. Yeah.
It's like those big old fat finger phones that you get.
And that's
for
what
your
I don't like
grandma.
about the tabs that we create, is they're so small, but those buttons are huge.
Yeah.
Are those tabs or are those buttons?
No, this is my personal site. So this is an actual
Oh, okay.
website. This is on Facebook.
I got it.
Yeah, this is what Gary's looking at here, the actual site. But the call to action it's huge. I mean, you can't miss it. So click here, and that takes them, of course, to the video, which this is YouTube. I mean,
If you're watching this right now,
yeah, so that goes through there. You can check out what I say later.
But do you sell them later on after?
What I'm working on, I haven't created the courses yet, but I want to sell courses, basically, is what I'm kind of leaning towards.
It's working on building an audience.
Yeah, so right now it's about building.
Right.
It's,
I was just wondering what you were planning on later on.
yeah, and merchandise, you can kind of see down here, legacy gear. So that's just through Zazzle, which is like a kind of a reseller, customized type of clothing thing. I'm sorry I don't navigate very well with this. I'm working at it. I'm also a mouse person. I like mouse too, mice too. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing there. Back to
It's
Facebook.
really cute.
Thanks.
Do you market SwiftRock itself via Facebook? Or
I
just
don't, not
the other
right
things?
now. Mainly because I haven't really. My clientele has all been word of mouth, basically, and usually it's through like community colleges is my sort of niche through there. So that's kind of been through there, but I haven't really had a need to do that yet. But I'm thinking about it. Sorry, let's see here. Where do I get this?
And
Okay.
Trevor, you don't do multimedia.
We don't do any
Facebook
consulting, so there's no reason to market. But we have Facebook pages for our different companies.
Which actually have a product.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically,
But there's no, that's a big thing. I mean, a lot of people, they talk about Facebook or Pinterest or whatever. There's so many different things that we can all be doing. And we just have to decide what works best for our specific business. It'd be a total waste of time for me to do anything on Facebook and Mark One.
That's kind of what I'm starting to feel with my own. I feel like I can think of 100 ways of how Facebook would be effective for companies that I want as my clients. But as far as for Cedar Branch Media, I'm just feeling like, I don't know if this really fits.
No, I mean, it'd be killer for it. It depends on what kind of client you're looking for. So once again, for Mach 1, we don't take on clients. There's no reason for us to even have a page. But for you, I mean, you could be marketing to the audience that's here. You know, I mean, business owners in Roseburg, I don't know how many thousands of business owners are here, but you could reach them on Facebook, drive them to a free report on, how to increase your web traffic by 45% in the next 7 days, and take them through a video or whatever it is, or teach them how to market on Facebook through ads. Or heck, you can do that for any company around the U.S. So that's what I would do. I mean, there's huge potential for you to be using if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's a lot of it too, is the educational part of it. If you can do like an on-screen tutorial that's like 2 to 3 minutes, and actually just give them like insane value in that 2 or 3 minutes that they can do themselves. They might find out later they just don't have the time to figure out all that stuff, and then they say, oh well, they know what they're talking about. They showed me how to do it. I'll just pay them to do it.
Yeah, I think before you move on, so I'm going to circle back here. One of the biggest things, and this might be like a whole nother workshop later or something, but one of the biggest things is really defining what the heck your offer is and what you're actually selling. And once you can figure out, okay, what is it, what service is it that I'm selling,
That's easy.
and what do those customers also need in addition to my service. So if you look at a company like Intuit, you've probably seen Intuit marketing their websites everywhere, right? Like Intuit, go get our website for $4.95. They're not a website company. They're a financial software company. But the best way for them to reach their customers is to have a product that's an entry product that is a broad market product. So they market websites for cheap. So that's their way of getting in with people. It's like, hey, get a website for $4.95. They buy it. Now we can market you our financial products. So you need to find your equivalent of a cheap website. It could be a free report, like I said, or a 3 video series teaching people how to do X, Y, Z. It could be a video teaching people how to optimize their AdWords campaign, or how to get a 400% ROI on your AdWords campaign with these 3 simple tweaks. Watch this video, opt in, that kind of stuff. It's like endless, the stuff that you can do.
Yeah. I'd like to see something like, I had an idea for Donna I was thinking about, like just with the toffee. One of the things at the college, I was, when I first got there, one of my coworkers made, I really love red vines, like the red vines, I just love them.
Oh, those are good.
And they bought me a bucket, so I was just ecstatic. And one day I came in and they made little red vine men, like with little arms, paper clips, and little googly eyes and things, and the coolest little things. So I was thinking, those are really neat. I actually kept them and they're at my desk right now. I was thinking, maybe a fun photo for you, maybe in Christmas time. Maybe you could make it like a Christmas hat and a googly eye on your toffee, like little toffee men or something like that. Just an idea, brainstorming.
That's a good idea.
But you can have little captions, or better yet, you could ask people to include their own captions. And then if you want to make a contest out of it, I'll send you a free bag of coffee or something for the best caption.
That'd be cool. Yeah, best caption wins toffee,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And the cool thing is hopefully you're taking somebody who wasn't a customer, you're getting their mailing address now.
Yeah.
And that one bag of toffee that you're sending out is going to have a pretty good ROI on you, plus the viral effect of that contest you're in. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, okay, moving on a little bit.
You ever give free samples or anything for your toffee or your candy or whatever?
I always give free samples.
No, I was wondering if you'd ever do that as a click on this or a special or something like that, and I'll send you a free. I don't know if that would be worth it or whatever.
Well, at
Yeah.
$5 a pop to send things.
No, just a little tiny thing, not a huge box.
I know.
Really, or still.
Well, I'd have to look into that.
Yeah, because you get the shipping expense, but that's a whole nother thing too. I mean, yeah, we'll kind of circle back to the engagement thing, but that's another mindset shift, is to get over the expense of your marketing, because that's a marketing expense. And we just have to realize, okay, if I'm sending out a package, a sample package, and it costs me $5.95 with shipping and the stuff and my time, you better have a good follow-up campaign to convert that person to a customer. And we have a marketing package that we use to sell a $5,000 program, and it was an 11-page letter, and we had there's nothing fancy in it, but it cost $4 to ship the thing out, just a letter. And we could have easily spent, just put it in a regular envelope, made it simple, and did the whole thing for $1 or $2. But we doubled it because we knew if we would make that process a wow process, then we had an awesome follow-up process. We got a 400% ROI in that ad package. But yeah, I would do that. You and I were talking about the other day, and the best way to get people to buy your toffee is when they taste it at the farmer's market, and everybody buys it. So that's the way that we're going to get people in New York and Iowa.
Everywhere I set up a booth, I probably give away 3 pounds of candy or 4 pounds every Saturday just from samples. And people come and they don't buy, but they like to eat it. So you get used to that. But it truly.
What's it cost to set that booth up and man and stuff versus the first 50 people that like this or whatever? I'll give you a free sample.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it costs you more than $2 to send that out to them. But in that packet you have a special order form right here. You can save 25% on your first order.
Yeah, special offer with a deadline. So when they get it, it's a 7-day deadline. It ends.
Yeah.
And you have to, if you didn't have the deadline in there, it would be,
Just the overhead to pay your employee to sit there for a day.
Yeah.
Appreciate the business, but really, then you're spending $100 a day just on that. So.
Yeah. At the very least, I would test it out. Just allocate $100 and say, okay, this $100, I'm just going to use it to test this out. For 2 months, I'm going to send out free samples to whatever, 30 people a month. And once again, while you're doing that, you're building a direct mail list. So whether they buy right then or not, you better be following up with them by email, automated email. Every holiday that comes around, you're marketing to them now. So just from my experience and knowing that kind of stuff, if you structure it right, you get a really good return on it. That's what Harry David's does. They minus their bankruptcy. But that business model works. They still know how to run their finances.
I'm just kind of brainstorming right now, but I remember a story about a man, he was selling cheddar cheese, and he did this one thing that just made everyone would come by, and his sales just went through the roof. One of the things he did was he created this giant cheddar cheese. It was like the size of this barrel. This is huge cheddar cheese. And he would just slice off a piece to everyone that walked by. Just slice, slice, slice. And it was such a big attraction, everyone wanted to come check it out. And then, of course, they got the sample, and then they bought something.
That's cool.
So maybe you could make a giant toffee ball. That'd be sweet. Anyway, Facebook. So getting into contests, because that's what we're talking about. People do like to win stuff, and it's best if you can give them something that you don't have a huge expense on. So if you can give them something that's something that's very low cost to give them. For example, okay, like that certificate, that printable certificate that I sent out, something like that. That's a good idea. One thing I did with...
Do you just give them the PDF, or do you actually print a certificate out and send it to them?
No, I give them the link to the PDF.
And then they print it? Okay.
Right. Yeah. And I also give them a tutorial to show them how to place, I made a Facebook cover image for their profiles, and I give them a tutorial on how to place that image in their profile to share it and show their friends. So, okay, so one of the things we did at UCC for the community education department was we had a Facebook page, but we didn't really know what to do with it yet. So we had a contest called the Fall Facebook Frenzy, and this was last fall. And the idea was to do a few things. We wanted to increase the likes to build that community, but we also wanted to take it a step further and actually secure testimonials, organic testimonials, that we could then use for publicity materials. So what we did was we asked them to like the page. It shows them how to do that. And then to leave a comment about what do they love most about UCC community education. And it was amazing the number of people that actually did this. Well, likes increased 62 to 170, so we got 108 likes, and I think in a matter of 2 months was the period, with very little extra publicity getting people to the page. Mostly was generated from people sharing and liking and their friends seeing that, which was nice. So then once we had the testimonials, we could take Jing, which is a screen capture tool, and just make a picture out of those testimonials. And now we use these testimonials in some of our marketing materials. So trifolds we sent out, and print mailers, things like that. And that adds to the social proof of our marketing. So not only did it lead to gaining the community, so we have the likes, and we have people talking and giving conversation, but we got the testimonials, which then also led to some sales as well. So just an idea. And the urgency, which was the first 5 people to complete the steps, received 10 entries in the drawing. So adding a little urgency in there usually helps. And that person, actually, one of those people actually did win the contest. So, just an idea, something to think about. So people like games, they like challenges. Okay, we're going to talk about, do we want to go through what to post and go around now, or just do it at the end?
Yeah, let's do all the content first, and we'll dive into the game first.
When to post. Okay. Timing means a lot. So the basics of timing is you want to post when your audience is most likely to be on Facebook. So, and that depends on who your audience is. So you got to get to know your audience and think, okay, are they mostly retirees? Are they spending most of the time at home so they can kind of check it whenever, or do they work all day and don't really check it during the afternoons? So get to know your audience a little bit, and that might even be something you ask in one of your posts, in your engagements. You might want to ask, when do you like to check your Facebook most often, or something. Say it in a way that's, kind of direct, but in a fun way. Lunchtime is usually a good time, around noon. A little after 7, after dinner is a good time. When I posted this last thing for Grandparents Academy, I actually looked at my chat and I watched the numbers and just to kind of see how many people were on. And usually right around 7:15 was when the most number of people were on, from the time period between 5 and 7. So I figured that was the time to launch. So around 7 is usually a good time in general. But know your audience. There's a tool. Have you used Buffer at all? Okay. There's a tool that I haven't used it yet, but I read up a little bit about it. But it kind of shows you some metrics as far as when your fans are online and kind of engaging. But you can kind of also look at the posts and see when people are posting, and just kind of check that as well. So that'll give you a general idea of when people are engaging. Frequency. So Buddy Media did a study on different the engagement strategies, and they found that pages that posted 1 to 2 times a day received 40% higher user engagement compared to pages that posted 3 times a day, 3 plus. So that's good news for you, right? Because you don't have to worry about generating more and more content. Think about quality of the post as opposed to quantity of the posts. And always with any of this, anything you learn and with any course, any ideas you get, you want to test things. Test them to your own individual business and audience, because we all have different audiences here. So, individualize it, look at the numbers, whatever is effective, keep doing, and what's not effective, stop doing. Okay. And then, slides got mixed up.
That mixes up. Sorry.
So the last part is how to post. And the first thing to remember is to always respond. Whenever someone takes the time out of their day to talk to you, to make a post and comment, always like them back and acknowledge that they made that comment. So they know it's not just some rabbit hole or some big industrial business on the other side, that it's actually a human being in person who values who they are. So like the comments that people put on your posts. Even if it's a criticism, go ahead and like it, because that shows that you acknowledge that their opinion matters. And then in your response, find a way to respond in a way that kind of diffuses the situation and makes it a positive.
I have a question about that, because I've been trying to do that more and more. But if people just click like to something that I posted, when I try to thank them, I can't get their name to highlight.
So you
so
have to be logged into your profile on your page to be able to
to
message on
respond.
other people's. That's like a major thing that's really frustrating. Do you?
Well, sometimes it works
Yeah,
though.
totally.
I have,
Or I'm sorry, that's my experience.
yeah.
You gotta be logged into admin on it to respond to that point.
Like you switch to your page, or you switch as your profile. I have to switch back to my profile and then search that person and find them, and then go to their profile or their page as my profile to be able to message them, or even like something I said.
Well, I put my icons on my on my email, and I send it out to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a lot of responses, and I said thank you to everybody. Well, one of my contacts, she says, as you know, we think it's the best. And so I responded as Homemade Toffee, thank you, Pat, for your loyalty. And her name came up as, Pat Lee in the blue letters. And so that time it worked. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't,
Okay.
for whatever
I
reason.
see.
Oh,
So when you're talking about
When you type the name
you're
in,
typing their names.
Yeah.
do you need to add that?
Okay.
I've tried it both ways.
Are they friends with you? Whether they are?
Yeah.
Even if you can't get their name to pop up, it's always best to do that. But even if you can't, even if you like the comment without doing that, they still receive a notification that you liked it. So
Well, no, I'm just saying if they, like on my post that says, thanks Toffee fans for responding to my email and clicking on the icons, blah, blah, blah. I had 12 people just click like to my comment. So there's no way for me, other than just saying, making a list, thanks to all of you, blah, 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 blah.
So
You
they didn't actually leave a comment.
No comment,
they just
yeah.
liked. Okay. On the ones that you can't really tell how many you like, you can't really. There's not a way with Facebook really to get back to them that way, other than what I would do in that case would be to make a comment that says, thank you all for liking this, maybe add to the conversation in some way that drives them back to a web page or some offer that you have.
Okay.
But if they do leave a comment, definitely like the comment and reply in a way.
Yeah, I did say that I would have a drawing with all these new people for a bag of toffees.
Cool.
I said, someone's going to get a sweet surprise in the mail.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Might be you, Trevor.
All right. Did I like it?
You did.
Did I?
Oh, yeah, I
You
think
were
I'm
one of the 12.
Awesome.
Okay, so yeah, so like people, that just acknowledges that you appreciate them engaging and encourages that behavior. It's positive reinforcement. If people feel like they're appreciated, they're going to keep engaging with you, and that's what you want. Okay. Be positive. People love positive people. They like to be around them. You want to leave people better off than when you found them. I mean, this is all basic interpersonal communication sort of skills, but it applies definitely to social media. Smile, laugh, be human. Use those little smiley signs. I found those to be emoticons. I use them all the time. I think they're great. Because it humanizes you. You're no longer just this brick and mortar type of robot thing that has a business. You're a human, and you laugh and you smile, and you want to make them smile too, because you want to give them a good service or product that makes them smile.
So how do you get the smiley faces and stuff like that when
Okay.
you comment?
Yeah, that's a colon and a space, and then,
Just that,
yeah.
they're not
Is
little
that
icons.
emoticons?
There's a few
Yeah.
different variations you can do. You can do that. You can do it without space in it. You can do it with a dash, so it's like a node.
I like the dash. I like the
You
nose.
I used to use the dash a lot more, but now I just do the shorter one
Yeah.
a lot.
I started doing this back in sort of the email days because I found like I communicated with email, and sometimes I have a dry sense of humor, and people wouldn't take it the way I wanted
They
them to take
Yeah.
it. So,
I'll throw the wink out quite a bit.
yeah, exactly.
Me
Like,
too.
if it's a sarcastic mark, semicolon.
Yeah.
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 I use that in my email copy, like for my business a lot too. And that kind of circles back to the whole humanizing our businesses. We all think that we need to write really professionally like a business, but write like we're talking to people, because that's how we talk to people.
Or if
And-
you use slang in your natural vocabulary.
Yeah,
That's
keep
total
using it.
personality.
Exactly.
People love that.
And I keep on talking about mindset shifts and all this kind of stuff, but there's a lot of things that most businesses just aren't doing as well as they could if they just had those slight mindset shifts. And most of it goes back to how do we be more human to our customers. And that goes for email copy, that goes for that, it goes for our stores, it goes for how we follow up with people in direct mail, all that kind of stuff.
I think when you use your phone to post things, and it actually says like via iPhone or via Android, or
Yeah.
like shows that you did it with your phone. Like every now and then I'll send emails, because I know when the email says, received or sent from iPhone when you send an email. And so I think that's kind of cool, because people know that you're paying attention. Like you're not sitting in the office like you're out doing something, but you're also like, responding to them when you're not,
Yeah.
in like your office setting or something.
Yeah, totally.
Good point,
Yeah, and
too.
that lends to, I had that happen to me just while working at UCC, and I sent something to one of the coordinators, and she, I needed to know something. She got back to me pretty quickly, but it lends to that whole idea of customer service and being able to respond to needs and questions quickly, and that's a positive.
There's some companies that I know that they use Facebook so much, they actually have a customer service tab. So they made a custom tab for customer service. So they drive their people to Facebook for customer service. Of course, it's you have to determine if you're going to invest in Facebook so much that's what you would do. But I mean, it just shows that the potential for platforms like this. You can do whatever you want to do as long as you decide, okay, here's our strategy. We're going to go full bore in Facebook, direct mail, email, whatever it is.
And there's that missing slide. Okay, and then the other one is the call to action. Always remember that the whole idea is you want people to take action, and people naturally, they're looking for someone to lead them, to give them an idea, a directive of what to do next. So always include some sort of call to action. like this post to do this, or like it if you think this, or share it, do things, click this, use those sort of words. An example would be, I was looking at a site and there was, it was a travel industry site, and they had their Facebook page, and one of the, I forget which one it was, otherwise I'd pull it up, but it had an image there, and it just said, like this if you'd like to take a vacation here, you know. And they had all these likes and comments and things. So, you know, like this if you tried this kind of toffee, or you know, whatever it would be.
Yeah, that's a good point. So that's a great way to get likes, is customizing that image, which in terms of service you're not supposed to do like a call to action for a like in that top thing, but. Yeah, and there's a bunch of things you can do, or on your custom tabs. When somebody clicks a tab, have an image that drives them to like. But yeah, I mean, you know, Willis, as an example, you guys could have one that says, like this if you want a job. You know, click like. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different ways to get likes, rather than saying like our company. It's, hey, like this if you love massages, if you want a massage today. You know, whatever it is. Just get creative with it. You can do that in your ads too. So your ad could be.
You're not just liking the comment, you're directing them to like the like button?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so right now we're talking about actually liking our page. So you could edit your big picture at the top to say something like that. Like I said, it is against the terms of service, but I mean, unless your page is so big that they notice that they're not going to see it. Or you can do it in a tab picture where you're like pointing up and say, hey, I like this if you like traveling. But I mean, those are little things that will not move. They're not going to be like needle movers. They're not going to change your business by doing those little things. But it's just cool little things to know what you can do, kind of get your mind to expand and ways to think.
Right, because that's the big idea that you want to take away, is you want people to do something other than just say, oh, that's neat, and then move on to the next page or whatever it be. You want them to actually take some sort of action, and preferably one that benefits your business in a way that you can provide more services and value to them.
So I'm kind of confused, because if you're asking people to like this, if blah, 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 well, isn't everybody that gets your post, aren't they already likes?
Yeah,
how does that move out of your little family of likes to other people?
Right.
So our conversation kind of segued into something different. Yeah, so of course if somebody already likes your page, you've already done the work. You've already got them to like it. We were just throwing out like a random idea that you could do this on your page to get more likes. Of course it'd be from people who haven't liked your page yet. So we're not talking about if you make a post, people like it, that kind of thing. It was just like a random idea. Hey, you could try this on your page to get more likes.
Right.
So, yeah.
So he was talking mostly about the cover image.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started out talking about the status, like the posts that you make, and like this if you like this topic.
I didn't make a good transition.
Right.
Is what it was.
So that's what happened there.
That was my
And
fault.
I understand that, but I still don't understand how, because people aren't going to see your Facebook page unless they're a fan, or unless they've already liked your page, right?
No, I mean, your page is always there. Of course, the way that you get likes is by somebody landing on your page and clicking like. So all we were saying was you could edit the picture to where it just gives people a different reason to like you that are new to your page. So someone new lands on your page, and rather than just seeing pictures of toffee, your big picture of toffee, you could have an arrow that says, like this if you like toffee.
Okay, it's starting to make sense.
Right.
So when I respond to a person who has responded to me, when I say, thank you, Pat, for your comment, and her name shows up in blue, that generates that comment to go out to all her friends. They will see that. Is that correct? I mean, it's on her page, so all her friends will see that.
Depending on her privacy settings.
Yeah, I mean, it'll probably
Share
flash.
that, doesn't she?
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, if you tag them on it, it'll flash it to their friends really quick. Yeah. The big chunks that we really want to get out of today is just really how to engage, stuff that you're actually going to post.
Okay.
And if we can get 80% of this stuff, so those little tips, like I said, they're little tiny things, they're not going to move the needle on the business. But if we can get the the engagement side of things, what we're posting, and then just know that we're going to re-engage people who make comments. That's like 99% of the battle. The rest was little cool stuff that really doesn't matter all that much in the whole scheme of things.
So is it one step beyond, are you really looking to get their email addresses so if they get something for free or something, they put their name and email address? Because if they just do a like, they just see what you post on that page, but you can't send them a flyer, you can't send them...
A like is a gateway, so your ultimate goal is to get them to pay you money. And that's why you have a Facebook page. If we want to really get down to it, we'd be wasting our time if we had Facebook pages and didn't think that we were going to make money from it somehow. But the way to get people there is, okay, number one, how do I make money from my page? Well, I have to have people seeing it. In order to see it, we need to get people liking it. So that's like a gateway. Okay, once people like it, now what can we do to drive them off of Facebook and into our database? That's step 2, which would be the email. Or, sometimes you could run an ad that would have them skip the whole like process altogether. You drive them to a tab that is an opt-in. But yeah, our goal ultimately is to make money. We do that by getting exposed to people getting likes and guiding them through the process to opting in to buy and stuff. Some people are going to buy stuff immediately and probably even before that they even like it maybe. And some people it's going to take a while. It's going to take some relationship building, which is where the like stuff comes in. So the more that you get in front of them, the more you engage somebody who likes you, the more that they like and comment on your stuff, the more that you're going to show up in their newsline, in their news feed.
Which then shows their friends who get referred, who might get curious, and then come back to your page where you have a call to action that says like the page, and then they're connected.
It could be 3 months after somebody likes your page and they see 7 or 8 things that you post, Gary, and they're like, you need to check this out. And they'll click your page and go see it again and go opt in or whatever. Or heck, maybe they just liked it at a time when they were a customer of yours and they got pictures, and they didn't need pictures again for 6 months, but they kept on seeing your updates. And then they reminded, okay, well, my daughter's graduating. I keep seeing Gary's name. Let's go do that. But yeah, likes are just the gateway. Can't cash them into the bank.
And with that,
Is that all the presentation?
final slide, which is go forth and engage.
Cool. So let's hop on the whiteboard. And thanks, Aaron, for doing that, man. Let's hop on the whiteboard now and brainstorm everybody's specific business. And like I said, I want to hopefully have everybody kind of have some breakthroughs here, have stuff to take away, and have a really good action plan to move forward from here. Is it showing up good in the...
Hey, you want you?
Yeah, but on the whiteboard. Yeah, folks at home.
There you go.
Okay, cool. So, first of all, does anybody have any questions, clarifications on any of the stuff Aaron went over? That list right there is really good, so you'll all have the download. And we have another list. If you haven't got it yet, there's a worksheet we can give it to you. But a lot of it overlaps, but some of it doesn't. The contest thing, of course, a bunch of other stuff. You can get some stuff off of here. And some idea inspiration I put in there too. So you've got a Forbes blog post. I think I mentioned it to you guys a while back, but killer blog post. It's got like 35,000 Facebook shares or something like that. And it's how to be more interesting. And it's a really good post. You go look at it, it's like 10 ways to be more interesting. And that's stuff that we should be sharing, but also just living. It's a good reminder. And then there's a website on here for 100 great inspirational quotes. So that way you can put that in your process on a weekly basis. And like I said, every Monday is maybe Monday Inspiration Day. And then you just grab a quote, post it up there. Or take a picture, Photoshop the quote onto it, and post it up, or whatever you want to do. I would just do the quote, and people will like it and stuff. But let's start over here, and we'll go around the room. And let's just do hot seats for our businesses. So, Casey, pest control. You want to do the pest control or the asphalt?
Yeah, pest control. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and we've talked about a lot of stuff that you can do, of course. And Aaron, anybody else too, chime in, because this is totally a group thing. If you have an idea, throw it out. So your business is big time visual, and it's big time fear-based. Really, it is. So, what can we do? Just like the Billy the Exterminator guy on A&E. I mean, they have millions of people that watch this Exterminator show all the time because it's interesting. That goes back to how can we find what's interesting in everybody's business and put it out there so other people think it's interesting. So then they come and buy from interesting people. So a lot of stuff we talk about. Take your phone, snapping pictures of. There's a big old black widow on somebody's back porch. Snap a picture of it, tag the person if you can, or you don't have to tag the person, but hey, it's Black Widow season. Just want to let you guys know Black Widows are out. Are you guys getting any Black Widows too? This monstrous picture of a Black Widow is going to get a lot of comments on it. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Or we were talking too, where you could take like before and after. This isn't. You walk into a place, and he's told me about some insane stuff where he's walked in and like the cabinets are just covered with ants and all kinds of stuff. And those are awesome opportunities. You walk in, snap a picture of this, you upload it. Look what I just walked into, nastiness. I'm diving in, guys. And then 2 hours later, there's like another picture of the aftermath of it. And whatever it is, it could be the bugs laying everywhere.
Yeah.
It could be just you. It could be just you outside. You just like snapped a quick picture, take a quick video. It's like, hey, I just got done with that job, blah blah blah. So if you want to know how to prevent what I just went into, here's 3 quick tips for you.
Yeah.
And you can do all that with your cell phone.
Yeah.
Updates on when bugs are coming out. So if bugs are coming out in the spring or fall, update people. You could drive them to a squeeze page or a tabs or a PDF. That's a guide for, how to eliminate fall bugs. Here's the bugs to look out for. Here's the 10 steps to eliminate the bugs before they get there. And your call to action at the bottom. So if you were too late in some of these steps, contact us and we can take care of it for you. There's a ton of stuff. It's just so visual. You already know what to do here.
I know that I spend money when my daughter's afraid of things. She's 3. So it's like, it's just to reduce my hassle. I'm not afraid of the bugs, but man, she's flips out, so it's like, I don't want to deal with that. So,
and then exactly. Then if you go to the whole fear, but emotional side of things, like for us, when we first started having to come out, it's because we had a black widow on our back porch, and my daughter was playing out there. So it's a safety thing. So then you can
reminding people about their kids' safety.
Exactly. Take a picture of a kid smiling, or after you get done with the job, snap a picture of the client, in their backyard now, and just tell them, hey, would you mind if we just took a quick picture, and just kind of like to share some of our client experiences with people. It'd be really cool. Do you mind? Well, yeah, okay. Snap a picture. Now her backyard is safe.
The one thing with kids is to remember, take the back of their head or something like that.
Yeah.
People let their kids on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's a ton of stuff. Of course, the inspirational and motivational stuff applies to everybody, because everybody has customers who are people, and people like to be motivated. So that applies to everybody. But the picture thing's gonna be huge for you.
Yeah, and it's gonna apply more like me. It would be really good for. But one thing is I always forget about that kind of stuff. So I think for me and other businesses now, I'm trying to make that part of my actual routine. So obviously if a customer calls, you run through an order, your order operations, you get their info, what's the problem, you set up a time to service them, blah blah blah. Well, you do the same thing when you're actually there doing the work. Usually you go through the same sequence. So for me and other people, maybe put that in, as a line item on your to-do list for every customer. Did I get a picture? Was there opportunity for pictures or videos? And
exactly.
Yeah, and that's something that I really want to work on.
Testimonials huge too. And take your phone. I would just do them all on my phone because that's the most convenient thing. Snap them all on the phone at the end of the day or at the end of the week even. Go, okay, I've got these 5 things. Let's upload them. I would just do it at the end of the day. Spend 10 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
So you could post really unique, interesting, weird facts about bugs. I don't know where you can find that online. I'm sure just every now and then that are kind of, I think, in almost the risque column in a way, but they're interesting and they're like, oh, I never knew that.
Did you know you swallow 45 spiders during a lifetime? Would you like to swallow half that many spiders?
Something like that.
I mean, that could be that could be a great picture. It's you grab a spider, just find one online of some person hanging a spider over their mouth. So then you've got the picture, then you've got the thing. Now I'll help you swallow half that many.
Or
I got a picture you can use.
Really? That would sit right there.
I don't know if there's different probably different seasons for different types of pests, you know? Let's just post like interesting facts about that, you know, too. Like
Yeah.
it's fall is coming, time for blah, 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 or summer,
Yeah.
you know about.
And this stuff's fun too. Like when you really start to think of this stuff, I think it's fun.
Casey the science guy.
Yeah, and like you were saying, the toughest part's actually doing it.
Yeah.
Is putting it in the process and remembering to do. We all forget.
Yeah.
Like I haven't taken pictures of this workshop until today, and I took a bunch today.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the effects are huge though. Just this last week, like I've posted like 2 or 3 videos and like actually made a point to like put up cool pictures.
Yeah.
And you know, because a lot of people will say like, and myself, like I don't have a ton of likes, or if you don't, you know, you're not as motivated. But like I did that, and I got like 10 more likes in the last few days without even saying anything to anybody, just by putting stuff on there. And the few people that see it, it just, you know, it snowballs pretty quickly.
Shoot, you know, one kind of thing like Aaron was talking about, you could have, let's say there's a brown recluse, I don't even know if those are around here, but let's say there's like a brown recluse or something, you found it. You could put that up on there and say, hey guys, just found this, we've been finding a lot of them recently, share this with your friends so they know what a brown recluse looks like.
Yeah.
And put that on there, share with your friends so you know what this looks like, so your family's not harmed.
Yeah.
So then people are sharing this thing.
Yeah, and that's perfect too, because tons of people ask about that. Like
Yeah, they don't know what
spider.
they look like. So like, bam, here's what it looks like. Share with your friends so they and then when their families stay safe.
Yeah.
You could be Casey, the new hero.
And put like
the
a
bug
penny
whisperer.
next to it so people
You
have
could
an
make a
idea of how big they are, because,
That's a good
you
idea.
know, it's like a tarantula is, you know, we all kind of know what a tarantula looks like, but a brown recluse, are they like a black widow, or are they teeny tiny?
Yeah.
Well, you can get a photo from like the CDC or something, or I don't know where it would be, but a public domain photo of the effects of what it does.
Yeah, those are always attention getting.
One last thing, we'll move on to the next one. You could do, like, you could run a contest, Fear Factor style. You could say, okay, when we get to 200 likes, if we get to 200 likes by this date, I'll eat this bug.
Yeah.
And in the picture, you're like holding the bug, you know, the picture's from the front. 200 likes by X date, I'll eat this bug. So if you really want me to eat this bug on video, I'll upload it to Facebook. You better share this with your friends. So
I
then
could probably get somebody would eat the bug.
Yes.
Maybe 1,000 likes I'll eat.
Shoot, Gary.
One class I went to up in Portland here in February, we talked about Facebook, and they said it's really important if you put if you have a banner, not just your logo, but a banner that goes across your photo, so that if other people share it, it has your name, it has your phone number, and it might even have some saying on it or whatever. A lot of people, we have people that come up and do our house. It's not very expensive at all for who we're using, and I don't know if it's very expensive with you, but people have, that's the only question they know is how much does this cost?
Yeah.
So that's what they ask. But in your case, it might be, you know, a really neat thing to put that banner that has your name and phone number and prices starting at, you know, $29 a month or something like that. Because that's the only thing that's the question they're going to ask. That's the only thing they know to ask.
Exactly.
And $29 is like, oh wow, that's not very much. And so if they share, it's all right there. They don't have to go, I mean, they can like you and link to you, but it's right there. And it stays on that picture forever.
Exactly. Yeah, I like that because I was talking with Jody, who owns a house cleaning company. She cleans the loft, our house, and a bunch of others. But she works. She has an office out of here. But we were talking Facebook stuff and not just Facebook stuff, but regular marketing. I said, you know, what are the main questions your customers have before they come to you? I said, I know for me, we always thought it was expensive to have somebody come clean your house, and it's not. And that's perfect. So along with that, you know, something to the effect of, you know, you've got this whole termite infestation. You take a picture of it, and you say, you might think hiring a bug guy is expensive. Say it's a heck of a lot cheaper than this, and then you know that's kind of relates that to it. So what are you losing by not having somebody do this for you?
I like it. And it can be done in an action. It's really easy to put that banner thing across your ad. It's really simple.
That's a good idea. Really good.
how would you do that?
Well, we do it in Photoshop, it's an action in Photoshop, but I know that there's other people that can make an action that has nothing to do with Photoshop. It'll just resize it and put it right across on your banner. I'm not that techy in that, but I know that it can be done.
What's the, so there's GIMP, which is like the open source version of Photoshop, but what's the open source version of Illustrator, do you guys know?
No clue.
Okay, it's gonna be free, I can't think of the name at the moment, but there's GIMP, that's the open source version of Photoshop.
Oh, you could do it in preview, you can do it in 100 different things. It's really,
I was thinking like Illustrator, but yeah.
Illustrator, you can do it in.
Yeah, but I was thinking of the free version of Illustrator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a
you
lot of
just make,
different ways.
you just make a, you make a banner that has all that stuff that has an invisible layer that's not on a white background, and you just grab it and pull it over your picture.
Yeah.
That's how fast it is for us.
Yeah. No, I like that. Well, let's keep moving. It's almost 7:30 already. And we have guests at our house right now. They have like a 6-month-old baby and they're waiting for me for pizza, but I'm going to hang in here until we get done. But, all right, so I know you're getting your business going and stuff, but what do you have in mind for what you're going to start?
Something involved with like board sports, surfing, that kind of thing.
Okay. You probably have a bunch of stuff in mind already that you could be doing this for, right?
Yeah.
What kind of things are just kind of at the top of your mind right now that...
Well, definitely like getting customers involved with the page and like sharing, you know, like sweet breaks that they've surfed and like the link to like the surf cam and the surf forecast and that kind of thing for a bunch of different locations or whatever. Just like engaging people and getting them to be interested in like what we're offering. Like sharing their stuff, I guess.
Tons of pictures. Now, the thing about that kind of business, it's a lifestyle business.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, tons of pictures. The big thing is you want to make people look at something and go, man, I wish I was outside right now. And make people realize that, hey, there's all this cool stuff that I could be doing, and I'm sitting behind a computer on Facebook right now. And yeah, the more of that kind of stuff that you can do, exactly like you're saying, pictures, tutorials on how to do a trick maybe. Because if you can teach somebody how to do, if you can bridge the gap from like point A to point B for somebody, and point B being them on a wakeboard or whatever it is, actually doing it, or point A being them sitting on their living room couch not doing it. If you can show them how to get up, get up out of the water, excuse me, and get them over that first fear, then you're making them want to wakeboard. So maybe think of the top 5 fears somebody might have of doing this sport, and do a video on each one of them. Because if you can get them to break through that, then they're going to be ready to come buy stuff from you, which before they weren't because they still have that fear. Yeah, that'd be awesome. So tricks, helping people elevate their game. Product reviews would be cool for you guys. So when somebody's doing, whatever they're doing, then after it, say, hey, the board we used here, let's do a quick review on it. Show them what's important about it, show them what's not, and tell them, if you like it or not, tag that company that you guys are reviewing if you can. Another thing is run a contest, kind of like what I think I briefly mentioned it a while ago. What the mountain bike shop down the street should be doing is having like a summer video contest, to where they say, hey, it's a month-long July whatever contest, and the person who submits the most epic video, gets the most likes, wins this. So you guys can do that same thing and get all of the people who love wakeboarding or whatever it is to submit their video of them, 30-second video of them doing the most epic whatever. And then you got people say they have their friends come like it, all this kind of stuff, and you give something away. So yeah, more than anything, just really pounding the lifestyle part of it. And part of it could even be to where you guys don't even talk about the actual sport. You're sitting there by the lake or whatever it is, and it's like a picture like those Corona pictures, where there's a Corona on it, and all you see is the people from behind in the water out front. You guys are selling the same thing. They're selling lifestyle through a drink. You guys are selling lifestyle through a sport. So just kind of embrace that whole the culture around it, not just the products or the activity. Embrace the culture of what you guys do too, and that's cool stuff.
I think one cool thing, like and people do this already, but to write like a top 10 spots to like fit skateboarding or like, you know, surfing or something, top 10 spots in Oregon, but then like write your own like review from like your point of view on it, and make a unique twist on it, because most like places that do it's like they just give like, you know, this place, they'll write like a little description, but usually it's just like this is where it's at and that's it. But maybe like try to relate something to it, like if it's a certain spot on the beach, like, you know, kind of explain, and try to do places like maybe people don't know, like how to get there, and then maybe something that's cool that goes along with it, like, you know, we surfed here for so long and we went to this restaurant and this place was pretty cool, and this is a cool place to camp if you're going to go and stay the night there, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, build the whole lifestyle.
Yeah.
I love that. Cool. You got some ideas?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, man.
It's always good to share little tips and tricks too.
Yeah.
Like I was just thinking of some for our business, because we're a wellness center, chiropractic and massage therapy mostly. I was just thinking like tips on correct posture techniques, standing, walking, sitting, you know, which I could do better. Whatever, you know, things like that, or like video tutorials. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and that's something you could film one like right now and get it up on.
There's so many things
Facebook in
to
10
do,
minutes.
like stretches to help relieve shoulder tension. If you're at the desk all day long, how can you relieve some of that pressure without paying for a full massage?
Yeah.
Or if you might pay for a massage, you know what I mean? But things that you can do on your own, just small things, I think. And those are very engaging too. So.
Yeah, Kayla makes a great point, because every business in here is a content business. Like, we all produce content. You're in the bug business. A lot of people wouldn't think that, but you could be teaching people, like we said, you could teach people how to get rid of bugs themselves. Because there's certain people who are going to do that anyway, and they're not going to hire you. But you might as well reach them. And eventually when they get in over their heads, they're like, well, shoot, this guy taught me some stuff, it worked, but this is way over my head, now I'm going to call them. Yeah, wakeboarding, 5 video series on how to get up out of the water, then how to do this one turn, and how to do this one thing, and how, you know, that whole thing. Every business in here is a content business, which is cool. Even yours.
What I like about that idea of sharing the content and teaching people is, like, even though we can teach them how to do things on their own, by the very fact that we taught them something, I think has people respect us even more.
Totally.
So they'll remember you.
You're seen as the expert now, instead of just someone who's trying to hawk something.
And giving that away for free, that's of value, and so we automatically appreciate them more.
Yep.
You know, so it's like back to that idea of the more you can give of value,
Exactly.
the more valuable you really become and perceived as in that prospect's mind.
And you can charge more then too. 'Cause once you make that elevation from just being someone who's hawking something to someone who's an expert who's hawking something, then you can make more money. And once you can go from someone who's hawking something to an expert who's hawking something to a celebrity expert who's hawking something, which a celebrity expert could be somebody who's just a celebrity in town of pictures, you know, then you can charge even more just because of who you are. Even though your quality of work could be the same as this guy's over here, but he hasn't chosen to be the expert and then to be the celebrity expert on whatever that is that they're doing. So, Donna, so do you have some ideas that you kind of came away with so far?
I do. I've been scribbling all night.
Nice. Yeah, let's hear a couple of them.
So tomorrow I've hired a couple of high school kids to come help me bag. So I'm going to take a picture and kind of promote summer, you know, hiring local kids.
Yeah.
And another one, my grandpa, as a little girl, I remember going to my grandparents, and my grandpa always had all the cousins around. He'd make a big batch of taffy, and he'd give us each a little piece, and we'd just sit there and pull taffy. So there's that candy connection. And then my dad, so I thought I could post a picture of my cute little grandpa, who died a long time ago, and, you know, tell the story. This is my connection with, you know, this is what started the candy thing. And also my dad was very well known for the peanut brittle he made. The whole town knew about my dad's peanut brittle. I could do kind of the same thing later on with my dad.
That's awesome.
So there's a couple pictures.
You have really sweet blood.
I do. Maybe that's why I know. Taking just tons of pictures of all the events that I do, or if I'm delivering toffee, like today I was at Cruz Farms delivering a big tub of toffee. You know, there was an opportunity to take a picture and post it, you know.
Yeah, big time credibility too. It's you walking into Cruz Farms delivering your product. It's just a credibility builder.
Yeah.
Big time.
So I'll try and do more of that. And then questions, you know, it amazes me that people don't know more about hazelnuts, and the fact that really there's only 2 places in the world that produce commercial hazelnuts. Oregon is one that produces only about 20% of the world's hazelnuts. The other location is the country of Turkey in Europe. They produce 80% of hazelnuts worldwide. And, you know, just a little, that's a little education thing I thought of.
That's cool. And on the hazelnut thing, if you were ever up in the Willamette Valley or wherever they grow hazelnuts, take a quick turn, walk through a hazelnut orchard, and say, hey, you know, Donna here, as you know, we use hazelnuts in all of our toffee because of XYZ. And I thought we'd show you exactly where they come from and what a hazelnut looks like before it lands in our toffee. And yes, walk them through, show them the trees, take one off, do whatever you need to do. That way people are seeing that you're building the story of your product once again. And it's not you walk into the store and getting this plastic bag and dumping hazelnuts. You're showing, you know, the big time story behind it. So, and that'd be cool. If you happen to be there, I wouldn't drive up there and like make a trip out of it, but
It'd be cool to do a story like do like something kind of funny, like the point, like the view of, or like something from the view of the hazelnut, like pretend like, you know, you're the hazelnut itself, like this is me growing on whatever, I don't even know how they grow or where they come from, and then like through the, you know, factory, and then ends up like to you, and then on your
it's a good idea, like do an interview kind of thing.
Can I go to, I mean, there's several producers in Oregon, can I go to their website and copy their pictures and use them, or is that?
You're asked for permission.
Yeah, I'd ask for permission, then link back to them and say, hey, this is where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't.
I thought of another kind of funny thing that I could ask. Do you know your nuts? And have not only different nuts, but have a picture of, you know, David Letterman or...
Yeah, what kind of nut are you?
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's cute. You know, you should market to Oakland specifically when at graduation or something, because their mascot is the nut. So
That's true.
That's a good idea.
The ochres.
the Oakers, and then they have, you just have a single recipe, right? You don't have flavors or something like that.
No, but I actually, I had a call from the TV station here, the guy, and he was asking if I had gift baskets. And I said, well, I have sold 1 pound bags, and you know, people use that a lot as gifts, but I don't have an actual basket. And so he suggested that, you know, I think about it and maybe come up with something. So this week I made pecan toffee, almond toffee, walnut toffee, and espresso hazelnut toffee. And I thought, you know, if I can create a little gift packet only for gifts, you know, charge more, because it's more effort, not do it, you know, at the farmer's market or anyplace else, but just have that as a side sort of offer.
That's where collecting your customers' data comes in big, because you have 300 people who bought your toffee and you have all their contact info. Come Christmas time, you send them a thing and say, hey, we don't normally do this, we do it 1 time a year, and here's the 3 packages we have just for Christmas. Take pictures of them. You have that one with 3 different kinds of toffee, one with 5, and then the one that's $65 with 5 kinds and a bottle of wine. And you sell it for a lot. And hope, you know, you can look at price strategy all day long, but you would try to make the one in the middle when you want people to buy, not the cheapest one. So you price them that way. But yeah, that'd be a killer way to do it. And then it goes back to making sure that we're collecting our customers' data so we can send those promotions out to them once a year.
I was thinking like a flavor of the month type of thing, you know, keep coming, somebody coming back on a regular basis, or even if you have just the hazelnut one, doing what we talked about before, pairing a wine with it each month.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but doing kind of a monthly subscription to your.
I like it.
I know, there's so much that.
Yeah, there's a ton. I think really when we really boil down your business, it's really a lifestyle business too. but we want to make sure we can tell a story as much as we can with yours. Like we were talking at the last one, that story that I kind of walked through, you need to be using the world's best toffee line like
I did
everywhere.
change my webpage, did you notice?
I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I mean, you should make that claim. People say it's the world's best toffee, so you should make the claim. And that claim, it's not a lie, because people say it, but that claim makes people interested. They're like, shoot, they say it's the world's best toffee. They're not saying it's good toffee, they're saying it's the world's best. I've got to try this stuff out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, play that whole story everywhere. So how did we become the world's best toffees? We use good ingredients. And then you dive into the Handsome Nut story. So, I like it.
Have you tried attaching to all the seasons? I mean, Christmas is the obvious one, but even Valentine's and Easter and all that, with more variety and everything, is all.
Yeah.
I'll drop $20 for chocolates for my wife.
Yeah.
I don't think twice of it. I'm like, oh, I'm going to spend $10 for toffee out of season, you know, but it's Valentine's, I'd do it.
Yeah.
So
Get a cookie cutter that's a heart. And I don't know how you cut your toffee, but cut some heart-shaped toffee.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
It wouldn't work?
I
Wouldn't work? I don't know.
I don't know, yeah, you break it. I mean, it's built, so you break it.
No, yeah, and that all boils back to having the customer list to market to.
You could
So-
find a picture of heart or something or chocolate and post saying, did you know that you can't, unfortunately, as much as I'd love to make a heart-shaped toffee, I can't because it's so brittle, and explain that.
Well, you can package it on top of that heart-shaped piece of
Right,
Yeah.
you can buy the little
Yeah.
cardboard heart-shaped
Yeah.
containers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Cool. Well, good. Sounds like you got some good ideas. Gary, let's hop over to you. Since you're moving around, I thought you might be getting ready, so we're ready to go. So, okay, cool.
You know, that one of the things that I think are important for my customers is they don't know a lot like clothing. What do I wear for portraits or whatever? So
Yeah.
this last week I went through and I took about 20 pictures, good and bad, and I
Yeah.
put them up, and I actually put them on my website, but I'm also going to make a button on clothing tips, you know, what's good and what isn't, and even in it, I said, you know, these are what my favorite are. Now, what do you think about these? And they're obvious, you know, killers. You know, you've got a great family, and somebody's, you know, black and white, and red polka dots, you know, right in the middle of it. It happens, you know, you just deal with it. But so clothing tips a lot, you know, even shooting pictures, you know, how to take good pictures, how to take good camera pictures, or, you know, what questions like how many family wall portraits do you have on your wall? Or,
Yeah, show them how to situate them and make them look good.
What's the biggest size that you think should go on your wall? Because we have huge portraits on our wall, obviously, but we live what we preach too. And so, I mean, there's endless possibilities for me.
Yeah.
I think that when I go on these other sites and I'm looking at it, a lot of them have these contests, which we could easily do to get those emails to develop our list, you know, and saying, you know, hey, we're giving a free family portrait, you know, together, or giving it away this month. Like us, and you know, give us your email, and we'll enter you in the drawing and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and posting your guys' pictures. You guys have a ton of really good pictures in the office. Excuse me, in the office there, and that's your product. I mean, your guys' pictures and that skill is your product. I'd be posting one picture up every week at least. You know, so maybe every Tuesday's picture that you upload a new picture you guys took. Yeah, 'cause those kind of pictures are awesome, especially on Facebook. If I see this really nice picture and I like it, I'll hit like every time on it, because it's just something that an attractive picture is easy to hit like. I like them. So definitely utilize the heck out of that stuff for you.
Yeah, we just realized in the last couple of months how it works exponentially.
Yeah.
For the last year, we've done everything wrong, you know, with it. We just posted on the website, nobody sees it. But now when they come in, you know, we get them excited, oh, you know, like us on Facebook, you know, while you're right here, and I'll post this later today. And so then they post it, and then they share it with their family, and all of a sudden you've got 20 people who we never saw before who like it, but we don't have a call to action for them to come and like us. So, you know, we're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think, Gary? I know a lot of people are kind of going into the timeline mode now, and I think it's probably required for everyone now on Facebook, right?
Yeah, they switched over.
It's coming close. Anyway, really, people are thinking, okay, what do I put in that space now? Because I have that space on the top there. Wouldn't it be nice if there were some really awesome photographs of the river or the scenery around Roseburg that you could give away to people that liked your page and say, okay, here's my Facebook cover photography kit. You can upload any one of these, and then of course you have your logo on there on each one of the cover photos. And then everyone that sees, goes to their page and looks at it, they're going to see that awesome looking photo and your logo on there.
That's good. Another thing that we thought of too is to have pick a day or an afternoon or something like that and say, we're doing free Facebook social pictures.
There you go.
Come in today and we'll shoot you a picture for free. Give it to them.
That's a good idea, because you're getting people in for one reason, but then they'll hopefully come back.
And then they see what we do and they'll remember, what we do.
Have you guys ever held a camera, like a photo taking workshop, teaching people
Yeah,
how
I
to
used to
take?
teach classes for the college.
Did you?
Years ago.
I wonder, I don't know if it would be something you want to do, but I know people would be willing to pay for it. And you could get 10, 15 people, just like we're doing here, that would pay $20 for a 1 or 2 night photo taking workshop. Of course, you're teaching people how to take good photos themselves, but then you're getting in front of them, you're building your brand, and that kind of thing. But it could be fun to do, because you obviously like taking pictures anyway.
Well, we used to sell cameras, and we used to do photo finishing and print enlargement and stuff like that for people. So it worked really good. When we got out of that, we just decided to get away from the classrooms, this part. But I think eventually I wouldn't mind getting back into it. But I'm so tired by the end of the day, probably just like the last thing I would do is go down and teach a bunch of yo-yos how to do my business and put me out of business. So
that's the thing, though. Kind of going back to the whole mindset shift word, but just like with Casey teaching somebody how to eliminate bugs isn't going to eliminate business for him, because they would have figured out how to eliminate bugs anyway. They would have went to Google and tried to do it. And same with those people. They probably would have went to Google, or they would have went to the UCC shop. They would have learned it anyway. But if we're teaching them, if we're being that gateway between them and finding that information that they would have found out anyway, then it's big time brand building for us, and they are going to come to us, or they're going to refer people to us if they can't figure out how to do this really good type of picture really well. So it's just something you might think about, because you're building a community is what you're doing by doing that. Not to sell cameras, but it's to build a community to get people to come back to you guys.
I think it's a great idea. I think having contests, children contests, send in your funniest or your best picture, and you'll get a free children's portrait, something.
Exactly.
There's endless possibilities.
And I like it. Well, it sounds like you got a jet, but
You don't have to be there by 8.
Cool. Well, hit me with an email if you have any questions or if you need anything else, and I'll get you an email. I'd love to get your feedback in like a quick little survey, so we'll get you in that email.
We got one more class, right?
This is it.
Oh, this is the
last
class.
4 weeks.
Well,
You know where to find me, though. You know where to find me.
Yeah, you need to have more of these. I really enjoyed it. You've done a great job. So.
Yeah, and that's one thing too, before we leave, or maybe I'll just do it in an email. I'd love to find out what everybody else wants to learn next, because the Facebook thing is awesome, like I said, for businesses there are businesses that are running entirely off of Facebook and crushing it, but most local businesses, it's not going to change your world, but there's some stuff that will. And and I'd love to get everybody's opinion on what ones we should do next, so I'll hit everybody with an email. See you, Gary. Thank you again. Willis, you got some ideas, man?
Yeah, a couple
Let's
things.
brainstorm.
Wanted to ask with the questions idea, ask people what's the most challenging aspect for them of looking for work, but then be able to respond to those. For me it's tough that I never get to see anybody in person when I'm going to apply online or whatever, and I can respond to those, but how to get around that or how to deal with it. And then for the give something away, I thought I could, give people a guaranteed interview, like us, and we'll interview you. That's good for me anyway. We already interview anybody that comes in. If they're, at a certain level, it's like, because that's how we generate our pool of folks we can send out to work.
Yeah.
So, guaranteed interview, all right, I'm looking for work, why not?
Yeah.
Is that your primary target for Facebook, is trying to
Yeah,
get the applicants? not.
We
what
make
business
money by placing people with companies when we build a client for it, but it seems harder to target the clients with Facebook, so more the applicant side of it.
Yeah, and if you can dominate that side of it to where you guys have all of the good applicants in Roseburg, then you have a big time asset to take to your customers. Like, hey, here's how we're going to place the best people in your jobs. We have this asset, this asset. We've got the largest community of job seekers on Facebook, like all this kind of stuff. So, yeah, cool. Yeah. Another thing, we talked about this a little bit. I can help you with your page since you weren't here in week 2, but it'd be killer to have on a tab there to where, like we were saying, there's a 3-video series on how to interview for a job, or here's these 10 tips on how to ace your next interview, or how to negotiate a raise at your whatever it is. Like all these different things that people who want jobs need, or people who even have jobs, because you want to get after people who have jobs too, because maybe they don't like their job,
right?
Maybe they want to switch. And there's a ton of content you guys can do, which you guys already have, it sounds like, from corporate.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just connect with me and I'll show you how to put it on your page and structure it and stuff. And Facebook ads would work really well for you. Showing up on the sidebar, driving people directly over to that page saying, hey, talking about the job thing, all you have to do is fill out the thing below, name and email. Then it would take them to a longer form after that, which is the whole year intake form, whatever you guys do. So, other stuff, and we've talked a little bit about it also, is just really humanizing your business. That's the big thing, because with Express, I think it's really easy for Express to kind of get locked in this corporate world feeling for people. So taking pictures of the outside of your building, taking pictures of people coming in for interviews, of your employees of a company party.
Just your data camera.
Your dad would go wild with that stuff. Yeah, taking pictures with clients, meeting new people.
You told me at first class, you're like, get those testimonials from people that got a good job. And I just had a guy Friday that he was his last paycheck and he got hired at this company. He's raving about how awesome it was, and I'm like, oh, Trevor told me I should be getting this right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to call him up and get it back in.
Totally. I mean, can you imagine if somebody comes to your website or Facebook or on your print materials, if you've got 20 different pictures of somebody in their testimonial, and that's what you want to do, is differentiate your offering from your competitors. If your offer is exactly the same as your competitors, except for you have 30 testimonials on there showing people just raving about your thing, 100% of everybody's going to go with you just because of the testimonials.
Yeah, people tend to, okay, I'm looking for a job, I'll apply with all the agencies and just see what hits, which isn't a bad strategy, but if I can definitely get them to come see me and their friends say, hey, they treat me right, and they're respectful, as well as give me some tips.
Yeah, I think that'll be a big one for you. And then just random stuff, like I said, just humanizing the business will be good for you guys.
Things that are linked to Douglas County.
Economic data, stuff that you guys probably already did.
Right.
I like
things
that.
that are going on.
Yeah. Cool. You got some ideas?
You bet.
Hold on. Yes. I get go first, and then we'll.
So ideas for City Branch Media in order to having an ideal client of one who wants to do a major Google AdWords campaign. But I also really like the idea of helping just a local company that has a really good product to get them online and get them going to do more than just a Google AdWords campaign.
Totally.
Two different sides of things.
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of ideas, like you were saying, for a client. You can probably think of a lot of those. And if you were looking to get customers for yourself, kind of going that route that I was talking before, thinking of
a lot of educational things I think would be helpful, kind of trying to build the expert persona.
Exactly.
You gotta get people to understand what you actually do.
I know, that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part for me that I've seen so far is, exactly. What do you do? And I feel like, oh, I've already told you. So doing Google AdWords campaigns, so pay-per-click ads.
I throw that out there, Google AdWords, what is it?
What I would do is really boil it down, because if you use Google AdWords, you're big time narrowing your target markets. People know what that is. I would say we help companies get customers from the internet, and that's what you guys do. So really aim at the benefit, not what you do, but at the benefit that people get. And that's something that I was really bad at that forever. People would ask what I do, and they'd be confused forever. And yeah, so just think of whatever your benefit is that you're giving people, that's what you want to come back at when people ask what you do.
That's brilliant.
So if people ask what you do, rather than saying, oh, we have a massage place, we help people relieve their pain and get more relaxed through massage. It's stuff like that. So.
And when you're talking to different companies or different industries, they're probably, like, in regards to that, hardly anybody in that industry, or maybe a very few amount, are doing, what you're talking with them about, presenting them to, something like 95% of whoever in this industry is not doing this, be, one step ahead by being the first, in the area to, attack this or something.
For you, I would like flood your page all the time with tips. So a quick tip or a case study. You just did a test on a Google AdWords thing, and here's this one thing that decreased our click cost by 43%. And then drive them over to your blog is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So then they'll opt in because they see, man, she puts out great content. I want to get more of it, email address. And then when you're going to take on more clients, you email people, that whole thing. So a ton of tips, really dumbing down what you do. And not in a bad way, like not saying that in a bad way, but simplifying it.
It's very much simplifying.
Yeah. Do you want to get customers online? Okay. Well, you don't have to tell them it's AdWords. They end up finding out it's AdWords after they talk with you. Yeah. It's once again that mindset shift for it, but it's kind of cool once it gets clear for you and your customers on what you do. You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've got 100 first steps I need to
No, yeah, for sure. Okay, like last one, and then let's jet.
I already shared some ideas earlier.
Yeah.
More ideas?
A couple. Let's say your best 2 ideas that you think you'll be able to use more than once, like a concept.
I really like the idea of educating people, which is something we do anyway.
Yeah.
We just don't do it virally yet. We do it we're so in person with people, and forget that there's a world outside of that. But definitely getting more testimonials comes to mind, because we have so many great testimonials and people who love what we do and love us and the care that we provide. And, we get a lot of great referrals, and just keep stimulating that.
Yeah.
And I think doing certain contests would be fun. I hadn't really thought of that before, but, do this to win a free massage or something. That's always a good thing.
That dentist, remember you told me a while ago, a dentist, he ran an ad in the newspaper, and it was like so much different. It was like totally informative, but it was like a fairly long ad.
It was actually a chiropractor.
Oh, was it
Right,
good?
he's not even in business anymore.
I think he's until October.
Is he? It is a killer ad.
Yeah, I was
He
thinking,
didn't write it.
I can't remember, but I remember like the concept of it.
Yeah, he didn't write it, by the way. Like every city in the country probably has that same ad. He bought it from a chiropractic marketing guy.
But maybe,
Yeah, totally. That's the whole wrapping people in the story. Like we were talking the other day of not just telling people what you do, why you guys do it. And telling that story of how your mom liked massage. She had a problem, and then she got massage, whatever it was, cured that problem. She was skeptical, and she wasn't. The whole thing. I guess it would have been chiropractic first, then massage later. Yeah, tell that story. Video testimonials would be killer. Grab some of your customers while you guys are actually doing procedures and saying, hey, would you mind if we took like a quick 3-minute video just doing this one procedure, then upload it and show people, okay, because with chiropractic, a lot of people are wondering, okay, do I want to get my neck cracked? Is it going to hurt? Is it going to hurt me? Is it actually working? So show people the process before they actually walk in the door. So it's like, okay, we have an actual person. This isn't a dummy. It's an actual person, and show them what you do, and then tell them what the benefit is and why you're doing it. You're not just doing it just to wrench them, but hey, the reason we do this procedure right here is because of X, Y, Z. It releases this one thing of serve whatever spine number 42B and whatever it is, and then tell people that why. Because when people are looking at chiropractic, everybody has those in their mind.
Yeah.
If you can squash those, just like with the sports stuff, get people from point A to point B. Point A being them skeptical of massage and chiropractic to, okay, I see that it's of value now.
That's really helpful.
Yeah,
Thank
tons
you.
of stuff. And then for you guys, one time a week, a little massage move, something that they can do themselves.
Yep. Exactly.
Every Monday or whatever it is. Every Monday you guys do a video or article or something like that. Do this, blah, blah, blah. You're set for the week now. That kind of thing. It's their get in the customer set for the week. So that's the take you guys can take. Okay, every Monday we're going to get you relaxed and ready for the week with this 30-second tip.
Okay.
I have a question. When I first started dabbling with Facebook and took a couple Facebook classes, they cautioned us about over-posting because people will get to the point where they're like, oh, it's her again. Forget it. I don't want to hear from her anymore. And they'll get rid of you, whatever the term is. So by posting once or twice a day, do you run that risk?
Like Aaron was saying, and that study was really good. So someone who posts, was it 1 or 2 times a day, has a 40% higher engagement rate than somebody who posts 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Just because that reason you're talking about. One distinction to make, we all think that we're going to flood our customers with too many messages, right? But the thing is, the people who are going to be afraid of too many messages are the people who probably aren't going to be your customers anyway. And they probably aren't going to come back and buy something. People who are your fans, who are going to be 80% of your revenue, they want to see your messages. They probably don't want to see 7 a day, but they want to see you on a consistent basis.
Okay.
So, yeah, and that's once again a little mind shift to make, is we have to be repelling people to attract the right people. And if we're not posting enough, if we're posting 2 times a week because we don't want to scare away that 20% of people or whatever, then we're alienating the people who are going to buy from us. So just focus on the people who want to see our message. The rest of them, they'll take care of themselves.
Right, and the quality of the posts and make sure it's right.
The content.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Well,
So
thanks.
I have another one.
Yeah, shoot.
In my,
Definitely.
when I send the email out to everybody and ask them to, click like,
Yeah.
I told them that at the very end, I said, maybe I'll do an A in this class or something. So my thought is, can I get a picture? Do you have a white erase marker?
Right here?
Can you put like a big A?
We
and
don't
I'll-
even use this thing at all.
I know. I'll stand next to you and somebody can take our picture.
Have you ever seen The Christmas Story?
How about an A+?
No, I'm gonna give it to you.
Carried away.
Have you ever seen anybody seen The Christmas Story?
Yeah, but I can't remember what.
Yeah, like when Ralphie gets his paper back and he's like dreaming, then the teacher's all plus. There you go.
All right.
Or Ralphie. No, for sure. Yeah.
Cute little
And
Ralphie.
plus. Anybody else have any questions before we conclude the workshop? Probably like half the class didn't make it tonight for some reason, which is fine because we didn't even have enough time tonight to get through everybody who was here. So, any questions before we part? I have a whole list of stuff I was wanting to go over, but I know everybody's got to leave, myself included. We'll email you guys the resources. So we still need to get last week's video up. We still need to get today's video up, of course. I've got a quick survey that I would absolutely appreciate everybody to fill out. It'll be through email. It'll take 2 minutes, and I really appreciate it because it'll help us learn what we did good here. It'll help us learn what we did terrible at, because I know there's some stuff that we can improve, and we want to hear it. And I just love to hear your experience, because it's kind of going back to the testimonial thing. If we're going to do more of these workshops, we need testimonials so we can sell more workshop spaces. So, of course, we want to hear the good stuff, if there was good stuff, and we want to hear the bad stuff so we can improve. If we have time, could we get like 2 or 3 video testimonials real quick? Yes, we do have time, okay. Everybody's like blank faces. I'm going to put people on the spot.
There's always time.
All right, Casey.
All right.
Just really, it could be 25 seconds. So what you want to do is your name, business, what you learned from the workshop, and whether you'd recommend it to anybody else.
Hello, I'm Casey McKillop with Prestige Pest Control. Yeah, the Facebook workshop was awesome. A+ times 4. And yeah, I learned quite a bit. Facebook is always changing, so I think one of the coolest things I learned was new things I didn't even know existed with Facebook. Linking things together, different websites that interact with Facebook that I usually use independently that I can put together. So I definitely recommend it. If we do it again in weeks or months, I'm sure there'll be a handful of new stuff that will be changing from now to then too that we'll learn more on. So, yep.
Cool. Thanks, man. And you guys can be as short as you want, but in the end, a good testimonial, just like a quick lesson, is usually results-based. So if you can have a testimonial saying what transformation that person had from your product or service, rather than it was just good, yours is going to be a little bit tougher. Maybe like a results thing could be, hey, I didn't think I liked toffee before, or I thought there was this other toffee that was really good, but this actually is the best in the world. Willis, on the spot, man.
All right. I didn't even want to come to this class, and my dad told me I ought to come check it out because Trevor gave him all the good info. So after taking some time, spending some time together with Trevor and the rest of the crew, I figured out it's something definitely I need to be doing for my business, and it's going to benefit us. So excited to be here, and thanks a lot.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming, too. Donna. And if you don't want to give one, you don't have to. I'm not forcing anybody.
Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready for you.
My name's Donna Holm, and I am the owner of Homemade Toffee Company. I took the Facebook marketing class, hoping to kind of open my eyes as to how I could use Facebook to promote my business a little bit more, and learned a ton. I got notes and more notes. I have a lot of work to do, but thank you very much. It was a great class.
Awesome. Thank you, Donna, too, for coming.
To you.
Thank you. And thank you guys, too, for not only giving the testimonial, but for coming. I really appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Kayla Schroeder. I work at the Wisdom Oak Wellness Center in downtown Roseburg, and this is my first official Facebook marketing class, and I was really excited because the timing of it was perfect. I was looking for ways to implement more Facebook marketing and how to really set a good foundation for our page. And what to post, how to post, and all of those things. And all of those questions were really answered pretty well in this class. It was very fun and interesting, and I learned a lot, and I have a lot of homework to do, a lot of things to implement, but it was definitely rewarding and worth it, and lots of good value and content and information shared. So I look forward to more classes.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
On the beach in Hawaii,